Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to learn how to automatically create and enroll users in Thinkific on successful Instamojo payment. So I am an owner of a business in which I offer various online courses to my students. I collect the payments from my students using Instamojo and I manage all of my courses using Thinkific. I want that whenever any of my students does a payment using Instamojo, I want to create that student as a user in my Thinkific account and I want to also enroll that same student to the course that I've created in my Thinkific account. And if I'm going to do this manually, it is going to take me a lot of time. So what I'm doing is I'm creating an automation using Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. In this automation, what is going to happen, that as soon as we're going to receive a payment, that means a payment is going to be done by any of our students using Instamojo. Automatically that student should be first created as a user in my Thinkific account. And as they are going to be created as a user, I want to enroll that user to the course that I've created in my Thinkific account. For that, we are going to be creating an automation between Instamojo and Thinkific with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you want to learn this amazing automation, then let me take you all to my screen. Welcome to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to automatically create and enroll users in Thinkific on successful Instamojo payment. I run an online business offering various online courses. Students frequently sign up and pay for these courses through Instamojo. Instead of manually checking every payment, creating user accounts and enrolling students in their chosen courses, you can automate this entire process. When students make a successful payment on Instamojo, they instantly get enrolled in the corresponding Thinkific course and also they are also be created as a user in my Thinkific account. This seamless integration allows us to focus on creating quality content and supporting our students while the backend process are handled efficiently. And we are going to be creating this amazing automation with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign in to my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly Apps window in front of you, in which you can see the 5 applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on Access Now. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right over here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a workflow name. So I'm going to give a name to my workflow as Automatically create and enroll users in Thinkific on successful Instamojo payments. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow. You can give a name to your workflow according to your requirement, okay? Next over here, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click right over here. So these are the folders from which I'm going to select Instamojo Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving a name to our workflow and selecting the folder, let's click on Create in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Automatically Create and Enroll Users in Thinkific on Successful Instamojo Payments, and there are two windows in front of you. One over here says Trigger, other says Action. Trigger and Action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two concepts. Over here, Trigger says when this happens and Action says do this. That means our action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. Firstly, we need to set up our trigger step, and for the trigger application, we are going to select it as Instamojo V1. As our objective is that whenever a successful payment is going to be done by any of our students using Instamojo, automatically a user should be created and enrolled in my Thinkific account for the course that I've created in my Thinkific account, okay? And that is why for the trigger application, I've selected it as Instamojo V1, and for the trigger event, I'm going to select it as New Sale. Whenever a new sale, that means whenever a payment is going to be successful, automatically Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response, okay? Then you can see to connect Instamojo and Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. Okay, so firstly I'm going to copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, I'm going to follow the steps given here below in the help desk to connect Instamojo and Pabbly Connect. Firstly, we need to log into our Instamojo account and open it. As you can see that I've already logged into my Instamojo account and I've already opened it. And I want that as soon as any of my students are going to pay for this product that I'm selling, that is PHP for programming, I've created this smart page using Instamojo, and I want that as soon as any of my students are going to purchase this course right away with the help of Instamojo, automatically that same student should also be enrolled in the course that I've created in my Thinkific account, and a user should also be created. So what we are going to do is we're going to connect this smart page with Pabbly Connect. For that, what we are going to do is we have to click on the settings button right over here. After click on settings buttons over here, it says edit page. We're going to open this. So this is the settings page of the smart page that we have created, that is PHP for programming. And now to connect the smart page with Pabbly Connect, from the left side of the panel, you have to open this page settings. As we are going to do that, under page settings over here, you can see it says add webhook. We are going to turn on this bracket. As we're going to turn on the bracket, it is asking for us to enter the webhook URL and information to send right over here. For the webhook URL, I'm going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. And for the information to send right over here, if I'm going to click on this arrow, you can see there are two options. As our objective is that whenever a payment is successful using Instamojo, then only Pabbly Connect should capture the response. So for the information to send, I'm going to select it as successful payments right over here. After pasting the webhook URL and selecting the information to be sent right over here, I'm going to click on the save and update button. I'm going to click on yes. As you're going to do that, it says smart page PHP for programming edited successfully. That means the page that we have created, that is smart page for PHP for programming, has now been edited successfully. I'm going to open this page again. So this page has now been successfully connected with Pabbly Connect. If I'm going to take you back to my workflow that I've created, over here you can see now it is saying waiting for webhook response. As we have connected Pabbly Connect with the Instamojo page that we have created, smart page that we have created, now what we're going to do is we're going to do a dummy payment with the help of this page, and we're going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of the payment being successful or not. For that, what we have to do is we have to open our page that we have created. We have to click on the share page button. So this is the URL of the page. I'm going to copy this URL from here, paste this URL and open this URL in a new tab. So you can see that this is the course that I'm selling, that is PHP for programming, and this is the smart page, and we're going to purchase this course right over here. For that, you have to click on this enroll now button. Okay, after that it is asking for the customer's information. We're going to fill in the details. For the first name over here, I'm going to write it as test. For the last name over here, I'm going to write it as, for the last name I've written it as smart. For the email over here, I'm going to write it as testmart56@pabblytudes.com, and for the phone number, I'm going to write in a dummy mobile number. So as I've filled in the details for the first name right over here, last name, email and the phone number, I'm going to click on add delivery information. Over here, firstly, it is asking for the billing address details. So I'm going to fill in the details. For the billing address, I'm going to write it as 12 Newtown. For the city over here, I'm going to write it as Bhopal. And for the pin code over here, I'm going to write in a dummy pin code. Okay. After that, for the state over here, I'm going to select it as Madhya Pradesh. I'm going to not select this option, use GST number for the payment, and then I'm going to click on this proceed to pay button. As I've done that, it is going to ask us for the payment method to be selected. I'm going to select it as card. It is asking for the card details, so I'm going to fill in all these details. As you can see that I've filled in all the card details right over here. Now I'm going to click on this pay 9 rupees right over here. As you can see that over here it says payment is now successful. So as the payment has now been successful, that means you successfully purchased the product using Instamojo. Now I'm going to open my workflow that I've created, and I'm going to scroll down, and yes, you can see right over here in our workflow also we have received a response of the payment being successful in our Instamojo account. Let us tally the response. For the status of the payment over here, it comes as success right over here. We have received the payment ID right away. For the currency we have received as INR. For the amount we have received as 9 right over here. For the purpose we have purchased master PHP with our course right over here. Country as India, state as Madhya Pradesh. For the postal code or dummy postal code, country over here again, city as Bhopal, address as 12 Newtown. For the phone number, dummy mobile number, name as testmart, and over here email as testmart56@pabblytudes.com, and all the other details. So this means that Instamojo is now successfully connected to Pabbly Connect. That means whenever a new payment is going to be done by any of our students using Instamojo, automatically Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of the payment being successful. Okay. So now as we have set up our Instamojo step, that is a trigger step right over here. Now what we want is, as soon as a successful payment is going to be done by any of our students using Instamojo, automatically that same student first should be created as a user in my Thinkific account, and as well as that same user should be enrolled in the course that I've created in my Thinkific account. So we're going to set up our action step now, and for the action application, I'm going to select it as Thinkific. So I'm going to select my action application as Thinkific right over here. And for the action event, I'm going to first select it as create user, because firstly we need to create a user and then we have to enroll that same user in our course that we have created in our Thinkific account. Okay, then I'm going to click on connect to connect Thinkific to Pabbly Connect. A new window is going to appear, on which click on add new connection. After that, click on connect with Thinkific right over here. As you're going to do that, to connect over here, it is asking for the subdomain of our account. So this is my Thinkific account, you can see right over here. Okay, and in the URL of this account, you can see before.thinkific.com, and over here before the slash, this is the domain of my account. So I'm going to copy this subdomain from here and I'm going to paste this subdomain right over here, and then I'm going to click on this save button. As we're going to do that, you can see we have successfully authorized Thinkific with Pabbly Connect. After authorizing, it is asking for the first name, last name, email, password, and all the other details of our user that we are going to create. Okay, so for the details of the user, what we are going to do is we are going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we are going to insert the data from the previous step of our workflow. How it works is that as soon as you click on this field right over of the first name, you can see this is Instamojo V1 new sale. This was the previous step of this workflow, and as we go to click on it, this was the same response that was captured in our previous step. As over here, firstly it is asking for the first name, but right over here in the response, you can see we have received the buyer name, the full name right over here, that is the test and smart together. But what we need is we need the first name as well as the last name right over here. So what we are going to do is we're going to add another action step in this workflow by clicking on this plus button, and for the action application we are going to select it as text formatter by Pabbly. With the help of this amazing feature by Pabbly Connect, we can format the text according to our requirement. And for the action event, I'm going to select it as split text, as you want to split the first name with the last name. Okay, and then we're going to click on this connect button. It is asking for us to select the text to split. So for the text to split over here, I'm going to map the data of the full name right over here from my previous response. As I map the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the data right over here in place of this map data is going to be updated. Okay, next it is asking for the separator, and the help desk it says for a space as a separator, use curly bracket space close curly brackets. So as we want to separate these two texts with the space in the middle of this first name and the last name, so what I'm going to do is for the separator, I'm going to use this space. I'm going to copy this from here and paste it right over here, as I want to separate the text with the help of the space. For the segment index, I'm going to select it as all, because I need first name as well as the last name right over here. And then I'm going to click on the save and send test request button. As I'm going to do that, you can see for the result we have received the first name and the last name right over here. So now what we are going to do is over here we're going to map the data of the result that we have received in our previous step. First name space the last name. I mapped the data of the first name and the last name. Okay, next it is asking for the email, so I'm going to map the data of the email right over here. It is asking for the password over here. For the password, what I want is I want the password of my user to be name, first name, last name. I want it as #123. Okay, so this is the password that is going to be created. You can see right over here. Okay, next over here it is asking for the roles. If you want, you can select a role over here according to your requirement. As I don't want to select a role, so I'm going to skip the part right over here. It is asking for the bio, company, headline, and all the other details. I don't require the field, so I'm going to skip the part. And lastly over here it is asking for the phone number, so I'm going to map the data of the phone number from my previous step right away. I'm going to map the data. Okay, after filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on the save and send test request button. As I've done that, we have received the response. In the response, we have received the ID of the user. You can see right over here. That means a user is created, and this is the response that says that it's a positive response. This means a user has now been created in our Thinkific account. I'm going to open my Thinkific account. I'm going to go back. So this is my Thinkific account right over here, and this is the courses pages of this account. And over here from the left side of the panel, it says users. We are going to click on it. I'm going to click on this all users button. As I've done that, you can see right over here, a new user has been created in my Thinkific account. I'm going to open this user. A user in the name of test smart has been created with the email as testsmart56@pabblytudes.com has been created in our Thinkific account. And now as we want to enroll this user in a course that we have created in our Thinkific account, so what we are going to do is, for that, firstly I'm going to show you the product that I've created. I have created a course in the name of, I'm going to show you, that is PHP course for beginners 8 weeks, and I want that as soon as any of the payment is going to be done by any of my students using Instamojo, automatically that student should be enrolled to this course, that is PHP course for beginners 8 weeks, in my Thinkific account as well after creating that user. Okay, so what we are going to do is, for that we're going to add another action step in this workflow, and for the action application I'm going to again select it as Thinkific right over here. And for the action event, I'm going to now select it as enroll user. Now we want to enroll the same user that we have created, and then I'm going to click on this connect button. A new window is going to appear on which I'm going to select the existing connection, but if you want you can add a new connection. Then I'm going to click on the save button. As I've done that, firstly it is asking for us to select a course. As I want that whenever a payment is going to be done by any of my students, automatically they should be enrolled to the course, that is PHP course for beginners 8 weeks. So for the course over here, from the drop down I'm going to select the specific course in which I want to enroll that student in. Okay, next over here it is asking for the user ID. As we have created a user in our previous step right over here, we have also received a user ID. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to map the data of that user ID, and to map the data we have to turn on this map bracket right over here. We are going to erase the existing data from here, and I'm going to map the data of this user ID from my previous step. You can see right over this is the user ID. I've mapped it. Okay, next it is asking for the activated date and the expiry date. I don't require the field, so I'm going to skip the part, but if you want you can enter the details according to your requirement right over here by following the help desk given over here below. Okay, after filling all the required details, I'm going to click on the save and send test request button. As I've done that, you can see over here we have received a response, and the response that we have received is a positive response. So this shows that a student is that the user is now successfully enrolled to the course as well. I'm going to open my Thinkific account. I'm going to go back. So from the users, I'm going to click on this all users button, and this was a user that was created in our Thinkific account. Now I'm going to open this user, and now you can see that this user has now been successfully enrolled to the course PHP course for beginners 8 weeks. You can see right over here. Okay, so this means that we successfully created an automation between Instamojo and Thinkific with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, I run an online business offering various courses to my students. Students frequently sign up and pay for these courses through Instamojo. And instead of creating and checking each payment and creating users in account and enrolling students in my Thinkific account for the chosen courses, I have automated this entire process using Pabbly Connect, so that whenever by any of my students the successful payment is going to be done using Instamojo, automatically first that student is going to be created as a user in my Thinkific account, and then that same user is going to be enrolled to the course that I've created in my Thinkific account. And for that we've created this amazing automation between these applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment on below if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video. Not just with these applications, you can create automation with the help of Pabbly Connect between multiple applications. If you have any doubts, you can send us email on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can ask your queries on forum.pabbly.com. If you have any queries regarding the pricing of Pabbly Connect, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions and doubts, and please share this video, and thank you for watching.